everyone, Molly here from Fort Bliss Art and Hobby. Today we're going to do a mixed media that is Earth Day related. Earth Day is Wednesday, April 24th. So we are going to try here at the Art and Hobby Shop to do a Earth Day related craft each day. Today we're just going to do mixed media, easy stuff you can pull off the internet. We're going to use a printout of Earth. We're going to use some rocks, a few leaves from my beautiful tree behind us, which is a mulberry tree, and it is big and beautiful and all about Mother Nature. So stay tuned. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I've collected a few items from my yard that I'm going to try to use in my mixed media today. I've got a couple mulberry leaves here. I have some rocks that I found in my yard. And I'm going to also use, I'm going to cut out the world. Hi everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I went around my yard and collected just a couple items that I can use in my mixed media today. I want to focus more on Mother Nature today in honor of Earth Day, which is Wednesday, April 24th. So I've got a couple mulberry leaves from my tree. I've got a few rocks that I found, a piece of bark, a little twig, which I think is kind of cool, reminds me of a tuning fork. And then I've also printed off a picture of Mother Earth. I'm going to cut this out and use it in my mixed media today. And I've also brought out a sponge that I'm going to cut out and use on my background. You can use either side of the sponge. I will show you how to use both sides, or demonstrate how to use both sides so you can get different effects on your mixed media. So let's go ahead and get started. Your kit will include an 8x10 board, and you can use either the white side or the black side, it's up to you. And you'll have a few colors in your kits to play with. With it being for Mother Nature today, I'm going to focus probably more on greens and purples and yellows, a little bit of red. So I'm going to go ahead. I've also got my paintbrushes out here so I can use them also. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some paint down on my parchment paper here. I get a little bit of room for stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put some paint down. I'm going to put some heavy spots on this, and then I'm going to use a water mister. You can get any type of little mister you want to use from the dollar store, Walmart, wherever you can find one. And I'm going to show you how to actually apply paint to your mixed media and then use the water spray to help give it different designs within the paint. So let's go ahead and get started here. I think on my background I'm going to use yellow and this like lime green. Your kit will have different colors in it. They're not going to be exactly the same colors I use here today. First I want to decide which direction I want my piece to go, and I think I'm going to go with landscape today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shake up my paint, pour some out here so I can go ahead and get started. So with the green, I'm actually going to go directly on the board because I want it to be my main color. Got a little bit of extra going on there, so I'm going to just wipe that off real quick. So with this, I'm going to take my sponge and cut it down so it's more manageable to use. And I'm going to take the scratchy side of the sponge and I'm going to move this all around to where I want it. And you see how it gives you a little bit of a streaky effect here, which is good, something different. And just go ahead and move it. I want to leave it where it does have some blank space so I can put some yellow and pink in here. This is an easy way to give some texture and some depth to your art as you're doing it. So I'm pretty happy with the way this looks right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on, and I think I'm going to do some hot pink next. And again, I'm just going to kind of put it in a few spots. I don't want it everywhere, so to speak. I mean, I want it to, again, have a different effect. I went up and down when I did it the first time, so I'm going to go left and right and see how much different it gets. And you see I'm pulling it up off of the painting as I'm going. Something a little more fun here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some yellow on top of this, and then I'm going to use the mister to see what kind of effect I can get with the paint. So we're just going to, you can dab it on with your paint brushes, which would probably be best. I'm just kind of going for it here. So now that it's watered down some, I'm going to come back through and I'm going to use the soft side of my sponge, and I'm just going to move it around, do some little circles, or, you know, whatever you want to do to give it a fun background. So for me, this isn't enough. I want another color in here that's going to brighten it up a little bit more. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue. Again, you can do the same thing. I'm just going to put it in some spots that already have some water. Just to give it a little more depth and fun, enjoyable, bright color in here. So I'm just going to dab this one to give it, you know, a little more of a texture look. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll be right back to do some more fun art on it. So while this is still drying, I'm going to go ahead and take my cutout here of earth. There we go. Fix the camera a little bit here. A little bit better. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and try to decide where I want to position it on my art. I am working outside today because it is a beautiful day. Got a bit of a breeze here on the side of the mountain, but that's okay. I'm really enjoying having this time outside and breathing in some fresh air and not being cooped up in the house. So I have my world cut out here. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. Probably up here in one of the two corners. Then that way I can come in and fill stuff in with my leaves, my piece of bark. With it being Earth Week, you know, I wanted to gear it more towards things we can find to use that are in the outdoors. There are quite a few things. Like I said, you've got the leaves, the tree branches, the rocks, the bark, pine cones if you can find them, acorns, just so many different things. Pine cones are really good to roll in paint and put texture on your artwork. Just works out really good. It gives it a really neat effect and texture. As you can see, I'm looking kind of crazy 1980s look going on here, but that's okay. You can make your background anything you want it to be. And you don't even have to do a background if you don't want to. I'm going to, with this being a little wet up here, I'm going to go ahead and place my world on here. And it'll dry right in with the paint. And then I can go back over it with the Mod Podge here in a few minutes. And get that all finished up and secured down to my paper. So far this is what we've got. Not anything spectacular yet, but give us a few minutes and it will look amazing. So I've decided I'm going to take a brown Sharpie and try to draw out a tree here. Not sure how successful it will be, but I'm going to give it a try. This area right here on my board is pretty dry already, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw out the best tree that I can. Like I said, may not be the best tree in the world, but it'll be fun. I mainly want the base of the tree, because I want to go ahead and stick my leaves on here. Sharpie is a little dry here, but that's okay. Just gonna color it in just a little. You got a little bit of, oh, that was a little sticky there. So I've got, you know, a little bit of a tree surface going on here. It's not amazing, and I don't want it to be. This is mixed media. I want it to be crazy. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I want to lay both leaves on here, or if I want to do just one. So I think I'm just going to do the one leaf. Kind of crazy looking, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna go in and add some more brown into here. You can also do this with paint. It doesn't have to be Sharpie. It can be any kind of marker you want to use, or like I said, you can draw it out with a paintbrush if you'd like. It's up to you how you want to do it. I just want to get this a little more solid here. Myself, I love nature. I love the outdoors. I love the trees. I actually love the grass, the dandelions, everything that grows in it. We don't get much grass and dandelions out here. Not what I'm used to from the Midwest, but that's okay. My stuff is starting to kind of fly around here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down with some Mod Podge. Mod Podge will be included in your kit. And you don't need a lot, just enough to cover underneath here so that you can get that leaf to stick to the surface or to your painting, to your board. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Mod Podge the back of my leaf also, so that it will stick down. Make sure it's got, you know, it adheres really well so it doesn't fall off. And you learn with doing mixed media that you will get messy, which I think is part of the fun of doing this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place my leaf down here. And it's okay if some of it comes up off the board. That's not a big deal because I put the Mod Podge on the bottom of it. It will seal it. So we got one big fun leaf there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and go over the top of it and seal it down. Now keep in mind, the heavier you do your layer of Mod Podge, the longer it's going to take your artwork to dry. Okay, so I've got that secured onto here. Next I want to figure out, I want to use this little guy. I'm just not exactly sure where. I'm thinking about putting him right here. Just gluing him down. And to make my tree look a little more realistic, I think I'm going to go ahead and put the piece of bark here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just add some rocks over here to give it a little more depth. And then once this area dries, I think I'm going to put a saying in there for Earth Day or something nature related. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm going to go ahead and seal up. That's okay because it will dry clear. I'll take that and spread it out here in just a moment. I want to get this piece of bark taken care of here. So I'm just going to move that stuff around. My bark on here. Now hold it down for a couple seconds to get it to stay on the tree. Meantime, while that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and put some Mod Podge down over here so that I can go ahead and attach this little guy, which I think is freaking amazing. I love it. Again, just put some Mod Podge on it to seal it so that it doesn't. There we go. Just gonna stick this guy on here too. Go ahead and push this down some more. You can use a hairdryer if you would like to go ahead and dry this out. It'll help. And then you can move along a little faster. This guy's keeps popping up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep pushing him down, and I'll put some Mod Podge around him to seal him up a little bit and see if that'll help him. Go ahead and put some Mod Podge on this guy too. Actually, he's going to flip over because he sits better. He's flatter on this side. I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge down my rocks here. It's mixed media, so there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can do it any way you want. Make any designs you want. please post them on the Art and Hobby web page or Facebook page so we can see what you've created and had fun with. Okay, I'm going through and just Mod Podging this up some here on the spots that are already dry. And you don't have to wait for it to dry all the way. It kind of gives a cool effect if you put your paint through it too. Something a little bit different. Wipe some of that off here in my parchment paper. Now we're just going to sit here and let it dry and see what we come up with. See how it looks once we're done. Hi everyone, as you can see it's almost dry. I went back in and added some different details to it. I put some little squiggly lines and dots and a circle around Mother Earth. Put some squigglies around the one leaf. I added a second leaf into it. And I also put Earth Day on here. It looks a little weird. I might paint over that and do something else. I'm not sure yet. So I hope you enjoyed my video and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Hi everyone, Molly here from Fort Bliss Art and Hobby. Today we're going to do a mixed media that is Earth Day related. Earth Day is Wednesday, April 24th. So we are going to try here at the Art and Hobby shop to do a Earth Day related craft each day. Today we're just going to do mixed media, easy stuff you can pull off the internet. We're going to use a printout of Earth. We're going to use some rocks, a few leaves from my beautiful tree behind us, which is a mulberry tree, and it is big and beautiful and all about Mother Nature. So stay tuned. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you.